Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's good, YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. This is bye week content. Happy bye week. We're going into the bye week off of beating the Eagles. What better way to go into a bye week? But Dave Gettleman, should he be back? Should he not? A lot of people are backpedaling and saying give him another year because the team is winning now. But he's not the coach. We all think that Joe Judge has his team overachieving in these games. So that shows you that the roster obviously isn't too good. So I wanted to just give a quick rundown of what he's done, and we can all make our decisions on what we think should happen. So 2018, he brought in Saquon Barkley, Will Hernandez, Lorenzo Carter, B.J. Hill, R.J. McIntosh, Kyle Lauletta, and Sam Beal. Now, Kyle Lauletta is gone. Sam Beal, in my opinion, is going to be gone. He opted out this year, and this is his fourth year. He's been injured his entire career here. Saquon Barkley injured. Will Hernandez, I'd say that's a solid pick. R.J. McIntosh can't get a jersey, but he's a quality player. He just got pushed out by Austin Johnson, who's been playing out of his mind for someone who wasn't really a high-profile guy. And then Lorenzo Carter is injured this year. He started to have a great year for himself. He might, maybe he'd have a whole bunch of sacks at this point. We don't know. But he's injured. B.J. Hill, solid rotational guy. So I would say that was a decent draft. Saquon pretty much is the headliner, and we don't know if it was worth it or not. We'll see how his talent translates to wins when he comes back next year. But so far, Saquon's talent has not necessarily translated to wins. Also, that offseason, we brought in Nate Solder, who was controversial. He was pretty much the best guy out there. We thought that he would at least be a solid offensive tackle. He's been anything but that. He's been horrible. For half a season with Eli, he was solid. Also, that first half of the season with Eli, he was horrible. And then the next year, he was the worst offensive tackle in the league, pretty much by every metric. Gave up the most sacks, gave up the most hits. It was bad. So moving on to 2019, he took Daniel Jones, which was a very controversial pick. He also took Dexter Lawrence, who's been really effective for us. He's not necessarily a stats guy, but he's controlled that defensive line along with Leonard Williams, who was another guy that he brought in last year. And DeAndre Baker, he's gone. Whether you think he did it, whether you think he didn't, he's innocent, proven by the court. He is someone who was falling asleep in meetings. He was someone who they say had a low work ethic, and he's not with the team anymore. He's just been signed to the Chiefs practice squad. So DeAndre Baker is a complete miss. He's gone. Not necessarily Dave Gettleman's fault, but there was character issues that were in college. O'Shane Ximines, at this point, I'm ready to call O'Shane a bust. It's his second year. I know he's been injured. We'll see what he does this last 6 games, but I'm not expecting much from him. He's not really shown me much. Julian Love has been a solid guy. I don't see him as a starter. He can be a third safety on a lot of teams, but not a starter. Ryan Connolly, he looked like he could be great for us. He ended up getting cut this year. It was a big surprise. He went to Minnesota, and I'm not necessarily sure he's even doing much there. So that pick ended up being a bad pick. We all thought it was a home run. We all said Dave Gettleman hit at the end of that draft, but it wasn't great. Maybe he was a better guy. Darius Slayton, he's been a diamond in the rough, 5th round pick, 1,200 yards so far in his career, and 11 touchdowns. So he's been doing pretty good. Corey Ballentine has been cut. Georgia Safo Ajayi has been cut. And Chris Slayton, I'm pretty sure at this point, has been cut. So those are the 2019 picks, along with Leonard Williams, who I think is an absolute home run. You trade for a guy like that so you have exclusive negotiating rights. So he's already in the building. I understand the logic. He's worth a 3rd round pick. So now let's move on to 2020. Now you cannot judge a draft in 10 games. You can't really say he hit, he missed, he hit, he missed. But I can kind of give my projections. So Andrew Thomas, he started off pretty well. Went into a rut where he was horrible. He was really bad. And then Andrew Thomas kind of is finding his groove. He's found his groove, and the last 3 or 4 games, He's been playing a lot better football. He's been playing a lot better technically. He's not leaning in his punch. He's not picking his inside foot up. So Andrew Thomas has been playing a lot better lately. Xavier McKinney, we have not seen yet. Hopefully we'll see him after this bye week. So that's a big question mark. Matt Parrott, he looks like he might be great value for a 3rd round pick. He has high potential. He's been pretty much playing every week, rotating back and forth, which shows versatility. So at the very least, this guy looks like he can be a long-term swing tackle for us, which I'd take in the 3rd round. I would take a long-term, solid swing tackle who can be a starter down the stretch. So I take that. Darnay Holmes, he's been our slot corner all year. He's had his ups and downs, but I take that value for a 4th round pick. Shane Lemieux, 5th round pick, he looks like he can already be a starting guard for us. Great value. Cam Brown, special teamer in the 6th rounder. Decent value. He's made a couple of plays on defense, so great value in his first year. This coaching staff is really great at developing guys. We'll see how that happens. Carter Coughlin, same thing as Cam Brown, special teamer. TJ Brunson, I'm not sure if he's on the roster anymore, but he has not really made any kind of an impact. Chris Williamson, same thing. And Tay Crowder, he seems like he may be still Mr. Irrelevant. He's made some plays for us, and he's coming back after this bye week. I think that he can be a good player for us. And then you look at what we did this offseason. We brought in Logan Ryan. We brought in James Bradbury, and we brought in Blake Martinez. Cam Fleming, too, at that right tackle spot. He's had his struggles, but he's kind of settled in as well. So I would say that 2020 was by far his best offseason. 2019 is pretty much determined on how well that Daniel Jones pick goes. We got 6 more games this year. Bill Parcells said it takes 30 games to see how good your quarterback is. You're pretty much going to see what you have after 30 games. So after 30 games, you can pretty much judge DJ. He'll be at 28 by the end of the season, and you'll pretty much have a good idea. So that's pretty much up in the air for 2019. But 2020, I would say he's gotten the best values by far. Free agency and the draft, he's hit. So if you're firing Dave Gettleman this year, it's because either he didn't draft a wide receiver this offseason or he didn't sign a receiver this offseason. And then on top of that, you will be thinking about Dave Gettleman's past 2 offseasons. But if you think about what he's done for us lately, he had a great offseason. Also, keep in mind that Dave Gettleman got rid of Damon Snacks Harrison, got rid of Olivier Vernon, got rid of Odell, which brought us back Jabril Peppers, Dexter Lawrence, and O'Shane Ximines. So you can make it out of what you want. Odell also hasn't really been lighting the world on fire. Got rid of Janoris Jenkins. So also got rid of JPP, I'm pretty sure. So he has gotten rid of a lot of talent. Let go of Landon Collins, which I thought was a great idea. Jabril Peppers is a million miles better in my opinion. He's made some changes, and I pretty much laid out everything that he's done. With that being said, I think because of Dave Gettleman's last offseason and looking at what Daniel Jones may do the rest of this year, it's pretty much about what he does. If DJ reverts back to what he was doing earlier on and he starts turning the ball over again and he doesn't develop, that's Dave Gettleman's guy. So at that point, both of them probably have to go. If he continues to improve, then I think Dave Gettleman has to stay, because this offseason, he hit it out of the park in free agency. People wanted Corey Littleton and Byron Jones. They've been much worse. They've been much worse than what we got. We got Blake Martinez and James Bradbury, and they've been playing out of their minds. We got Logan Ryan and Jabril Peppers playing safety, playing out of their minds. So we've got talent here. We've got talent. And like I said, it's mostly because of this season. So if you're judging about what he's done lately, he's done great. And I think that might be because of Joe Judge's input. So me personally, I say give him another season. But that's only because of this offseason. If he does not address the fact that DJ needs more weapons, and you can't get a pass rush in here, next year is going to be really rough for him if this team cannot continue to improve. So those are my opinions. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. So if you made it this deep into the video, definitely hit that subscribe button. I make Giants content, NFL content, so all NFL fans are welcome here. And until next time, it's Diggy546, and I'm out.